So I decided to shoot a running commercial all by myself. That includes everything from coming up with the concept, the filming, and of course the editing too. I thought I'd take you behind the scenes to show you just what it takes to create something like this, and hopefully it can provide you some value and inspiration if you're looking to do something similar. Right, let's get into it. So essentially I just knew that I wanted to shoot a commercial with full creative freedom, and I thought I would also try and lean into the type of work that I really enjoy doing, so that's sports, fitness, something quite active and fast, and decided to go with a running commercial. So Georgia featured in a spec project that I created a few months back, and I just thought that she'd be perfect for this role, so reached out to her and luckily she said yes. At that point I turned my attention to what the video is going to be all about, and I did some research, looked into running videos online, and very quickly I decided what the video was going to be about. I saw tons of technical information in terms of the running technique, the times, the nutrition, and of course the fashion as well. So coming from somebody that doesn't run too much, I felt pretty overwhelmed. So yeah, I decided to make the commercial about that, the fact that running now seems kind of complicated, and for the average person it seems a little bit intimidating. I think a lot of running videos online are quite intense. They're almost like a motivational video, which absolutely fine, I quite like that, but I kind of wanted to do something a bit different and try and introduce some more lighthearted moments. So at this point I started to write the narration and kind of like build the framework for the video, and that also includes creating a storyboard. So I'm watching similar YouTube videos, screenshotting parts that I like, and using them to build up my storyboard. So very quickly putting that narration and the images together and the storyboard, the whole video is kind of now starting to take shape. I then decided on a few shoot locations and yeah, got the first day booked in. So getting into the products, obviously I needed to buy quite a lot for the video, and as a thank you for featuring, I kind of just said to Georgia, feel free to keep any item of clothing and shoes that feature in the video. Something that's really important to mention, I think, is the fact that it would have been really easy just to buy the running shoes and try and focus on those. But I decided to spend a little bit more and have her in Adidas for each scene with a different outfit combination too. The total cost came to around about £180, which included trainers, a jacket, sweatshirts, shorts, leggings, and a sports bra. And the only reason I actually went with Adidas is that Georgia already had a pair of running trainers which were from Adidas, which meant that I could buy one pair of running shoes, she's also got another pair, so it gives a bit of variation for running on different surfaces. So in terms of gear, as always, Sony a7S III, everything was shot on the 24-70 2.8 G Master lens, and on the front of that lens I've got 1/8 of Tiffin Black Pro Mist and a 2 to 5 stop variable ND. For a couple of the shots I used my Ronin S, and then I used a light for the shots inside, and that light is the Falcon Eyes Flex panel. I think it's the 18-inch one. So on the first shoot day we had 4 scenes to shoot. I had 5 hours to do so, and that included driving. So the first scene is just opening up a shoebox to reveal the shoes, and with this one I just lit it shadow side using my flex panel, and yeah, just kind of put it to 3800 Kelvin, kept it kind of warm as if it could be mimicking a lamp. I got so many variations to this shot, and one reason is because it gives me a lot to work with in the edit, but at the same time I just felt really rusty and kind of wasn't really in the groove. I just needed to warm up. So moving outside, we had some really typical British weather, grey skies and some cold wind, but just had to try and make the best of it. I managed to find a pretty quiet road where I could get some shots from the back of my car with the help of my friend driving. I definitely don't recommend doing this, by the way, and probably shouldn't be showing it off, but I knew it'd only be around about 10 miles an hour and the road was empty, so yeah. I then decided to get some shots whilst running next to Georgia, so some that were focused on her face, the shoes, and some wide angles too. And yes, I acknowledge how ridiculous I look whilst doing this, but hopefully it just kind of shows you that a lot of the stuff that you see online, the behind the scenes, isn't that cool or glamorous. There's definitely nothing wrong with running around with your camera looking goofy. In fact, that's literally all I do. So then we moved into a woodland area where I got some running shots, some slow shutter stuff, and also faking being out of breath. Then we went to the local running track, which fortunately we had all to ourselves. I definitely knew that the floodlights would look really cool, and I think just having the contrast of the nighttime and the daytime shots gives the video a little something extra. So I don't have any behind the scenes for the second shoot day, which took place 2 weeks later, but essentially it just consisted of a very quick shot at the local sports department store, more running in the woods, the beach, and then back to George's to get the final interior shots. And again, just like before, it was just me, my camera, my backpack, and yeah, all shot in one afternoon. So when it comes to the editing, I did obviously have my storyboard to follow, which helps. I did switch a couple of little things, but generally I just followed the narration through the video, using the storyboard to pair up the shots, and then when the song drops, I kind of just freestyled it, chucked in what I thought worked best. So I used 2 different songs that I sourced from Artlist, and the first one I just started from the beginning and then faded it out when I had to, and then the second one was a little bit long, so had to manipulate it a little bit, did a cut, faded it back in together, and thankfully I don't think anybody would notice. And I knew that sound design would be a really big thing for this video, so yeah, spent a lot of time adding in ambience for all the different locations, footsteps, breathing, birds, yeah, loads of different things. Even little things that you might not notice, like the shoebox being opened, I actually recorded in that sound myself with a shoebox that I already had at home. I think when you add enough small little things like that together, it really raises the production value of your video. So yeah, if you've got the time, definitely try and add a lot of little things in like that. But yeah, all the ambience and the wind and the birds, footsteps, everything was added in the edit. I just wasn't really able to record anything in the moment. It was so windy, I'm trying to direct, I'm kind of like talking over the mic as well. So yeah, managed to add all of it in the edit. So with the color grade, super easy, just kind of did it by myself, went shot by shot, getting it to where I needed it to be, and yeah, put some film grain over the top, and that's it. So just breaking down this first shot of Georgia getting the shoes out for the first time. Essentially, our key light is coming in from here, and that is that flex panel. Coming in from the shadow side, I was kind of looking for that Rembrandt under the eye as well. Yeah, with the hallway, that is just the hallway light on there. And to be honest, I kind of kept that on because it just gives us like a little bit of color, a bit of interest in the background. If it's turned off or if the door's closed, it just looks a little bit boring. So yeah, I just decided to leave that on. And what you can see here with the shoes, the reason why we can kind of see this side of the shoe quite nicely is I actually put an Aputure MC in the shoebox. So as she opens it up and takes it out, there is a bit of illumination coming from the shoebox, which sort of lights up this part of the shoe. And I think it also gave a little bit more fill to the face as well, which is cool. Pretty happy with the shot overall, to be honest, considering how quick it was to pull off. I think if I'm being super picky, some haze would be great, of course, and I think in an ideal world, maybe like a tube light up here, just giving some light, like an edge light onto the back of the hair, if I'm being really picky. But yeah, to do something so quick and in like a run and gun style, I'm pretty happy with that one. So just looking at this match cut that I decided to do, essentially on day one, I had Georgia run past my left shoulder, end up center frame, and I've kind of then just taken a note of the camera's at 35mm, I'm 6 foot away from her, it's f2.8, and then what I've done is I've screenshotted that image, and then when we've come into the department store, I've got my phone next to the camera, I'm able to line it up, just to make sure she's in the exact right place. I'm able to put my phone next to the camera and sort of compare images, and yeah, just making sure it all lines up nicely. And another funny thing is I made sure to tell her, keep your hair the exact same, because I just think it works so much better. Like, imagine if the hair is completely different. Obviously the outfit is, but I think if we lost the ponytail, it would not work quite as well. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with that one. Don't actually think I've done a match cut before, so yeah, not too bad. So that's pretty much everything. I really appreciate you checking out the video, and especially so if you've gotten this far into the video. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers.
I always thought running was the most simple thing around, but for some reason, these days, it seems so complicated. Now everybody's obsessing over times, they're showing off all their routes. Oh, and apparently I need to have these. And what you wear on your feet it turns out there's a lot of choice. I didn't actually know how important it was to have the right footwear, but then I found out. So now I'm prepared to get back into running the way I want to.